Alright guys, before we get started on another Tubi Tuesday, I thought I'd show you guys the menu to Tubi here. Because I probably could have done this on the computer and just done, screen record or whatever, but hey, is what it is. Just going to go through a couple that they have on here, on this episode at least. Maybe I'll do some more on the next one. But just to give you guys an idea, again, these are all free. And like I said in the first episode, they do remove some and add some, just like most of your streaming services. So if you see something on there you really want to watch, then definitely watch it sooner rather than later. But yeah, again, not all these are in great quality. Some of them are like DVD, maybe even VHS quality. Definitely not Blu-ray 4K transfers or anything like that. But especially this one, which I'll get to here in a little bit when we start the actual review. But as you can see here, I mean, there's like the stuff, the crazies, basket case, just to name a few, parents, a lot of movies that have been released by major boutique labels. You got Bones that just got released by Scream Factory, See No Evil, Kane, The Conjuring, Creepshow 2, No One Lives, which is actually a really good movie. I highly suggest that one if you haven't seen it. Got Clown on here, Rob Zombie's 31, Dark Skies. I don't think I ever watched the Crazies remake, which I actually really enjoy that one. The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp, Spit on Your Grave, The Voices with Ryan Reynolds, Let Me In, the American remake, Odd Thomas, which is a pretty cool movie. Of course, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I mean, just all kinds of good stuff on here. I'm not going to go any further in this episode, but that right there is enough to keep busy for a while. If you haven't seen any of those, Pay the Ghost is okay with Nicolas Cage. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff on here, guys. I kind of scrolled down to some of the ones that were more known, but there's Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, My Name is Bruce, which is a great movie, especially if you're a huge Bruce Campbell fan like myself. Yeah, you got Phantasm on here. I mean, just awesome site. Definitely get this app if you guys are, especially if you guys are horror fans. There's other genres on here too, but I'm not going to really cover other stuff on this channel anyways. If you guys want to see some of the action or comedy titles, let me know and maybe I'll throw them in there eventually. But like I said, I'm trying to keep these more horror-esque related. So now let's get into what you guys came for and the review of Savage Streets. Alright, so on to the review of this film, Savage Streets. Came out in 1984, runs about 93 minutes. It really seemed a little bit longer than 93 minutes to me, but I don't know. Maybe it was just the mood I was in or whatever when I was watching this. Stars, of course, Linda Blair, and also starring Linnea Quigley, of course, from Return of the Living Dead, Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is right before those. I believe those both came out in 85. Can't really remember. But yeah, so very young Linnea Quigley, and before she, I'll say, blossomed in certain areas. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, so yeah, of course, Linda Blair from, played Reagan in The Exorcist and did a few other movies of this genre, and now she's like a animal rights activist or something like that, I do believe, from what I remember seeing her at conventions and things like that. I was really surprised that she showed her breast in this film, that she had a nude scene, just one nude scene of her in the bathtub. So if I put a picture up, it's going to be blackbarred, but or buzzed out or whatever the hell I decide to put over it. I don't have the best editing software, so it's hard for me to move stuff around and everything. That's why I'm not gonna really try to show video of any nudity. So it's just kind of hard to censor sometimes. But anyway, I really need to fix that. But running on like 10-year-old software, I don't know. Anyway, and you also have the main villain in here, played by Robert Dreyer. Plays the character of Jake, who was in such great films that I can't believe I haven't heard of, as Cyborg 2 and Dead Men Don't Die. Those sound absolutely fantastic. Actually, I've heard of Cyborg too. I just have not seen it. But and this is directed by Danny Steinman, who only did like 3 or 4 films in his career. He also did Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, and also did the film The Unseen, which also has a Code Red release, or no, maybe it was Scorpion. I think it was a Scorpion release. Yeah. I get the two mixed up because I order from Ronin Flicks for both, and yeah. Anyway, which The Unseen, he went by a different name. It was like Peter Fullig or something like that. So he went under an alias on that one. Not really sure the whole backstory on everything. I don't know everything there is to know about movies or anything, or directors. So, yeah. The quality of this film was, Savage Streets does have the Code Red Blu-ray release, by the way. I believe there's other Blu-ray releases, maybe from other countries or something. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but there is a Code Red release. You know, you can get from Ronin Flicks or Diabolic DVD, places like that. It's one I've had in my cart multiple times and just never pulled the trigger on it for whatever reason. But after watching this, I think I finally will add this to the collection. And actually watching it here on Tubi, it does say Code Red at the opening, before the movie starts. I hope this isn't the Code Red transfer on here, because honestly, the transfer wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but my main complaint was the music score on here, the songs, especially there at the beginning. There's a lot of audio issues with that. Let me know if that's like a normal thing. If you guys have the Code Red release, definitely let me know if it's the same way on there, but it like fades in and out, and there's just all different kinds of levels on the audio there. Mainly, like I said, at that beginning opening song that just goes for fucking ever. Yeah, this is definitely a true 80s film, to say the least. You have Linda Blair rocking the she mullet or whatever the fuck she's got going on in this movie. And just the clothes all around, the hairstyles, the music for sure. The scenes in the clubs and everything like that, the band at the club and everything, which was really off of the music that was playing, of how they were playing their instruments, was not even close to what the music was. Anyway, that's just minor nitpicks. It's a cheesy 80s film, definitely a pure revenge film more than anything. There is some other subplots. You do have some side stories of Linda Blair's character, and I forget his name in the movie, but you have some like love quarrels, triangles going on. This guy keeps trying to talk to her, and his girlfriend keeps getting pissed. And there's actually a point in time where the most nudity takes place in the locker room shower scene with Linda Blair and this, I think her name is Cindy in this, going at it because her boyfriend keeps talking to Linda Blair's character, which is Brenda. I don't know why I keep calling her Linda Blair's character, but Brenda and this other chick keep going at it in the locker room, and it was a really terrible fight scene, though. Unfortunately, I can't really show that scene because of the amount of nudity in the background, but it's like Linda Blair's telling her, like, come on, like, with her hand movements, and then she comes at her and she just, like, moves away. So I don't really know. There wasn't much of a fight during this fight scene. But anyway, the basic synopsis of this film is you start out with group of guys, group of girls, just kind of going back and forth. At one point, what really gets the movie going is the girls take and kind of joyride in the guy's car, this like a 57 Chevy Bel Air convertible. I'm not sure of the year. I'm just kind of guessing because that was like the most popular year of it. I'm not good with cars like that, but upon returning the car, they completely just like trash it, pour garbage all over it and everything like that, and the guys want revenge, and they end up taking the revenge a little too far, starting off with I'll just say it, but there is a rape scene in here, which again I'm not gonna show that for sure because I definitely don't want to get flagged for some shit like that. And I know that's not easy for a lot of people to watch, even though the scene wasn't like I spit on your grave or Last House on the Left intense. Uh, you can tell the character of Linnea Quigley, Heather, who actually plays the sweet innocent character in this, believe it or not. The look on her face during the scene wasn't real emotional, like it's like she didn't care or something. But anyway, there's a scene before this too where some guy owes the leader of the gang, Jake, some money, and he's got his girl with him, and they kind of like take her top off and are all fondling her and things like that. And it didn't seem like the girl even seemed to mind. She was kind of like smiling in some parts and everything. So the scenes that are supposed to be hard to watch weren't as hard to watch as they should have been because the characters, the actresses weren't really just purveying that. So anyway, back to where I was on that scene. I forget the other character's name that's in the, I'll say the gang. I think it was Vince or something. I don't remember. But there's one character that doesn't really want to do the things that the rest of the members of the gang are doing. I'll just call them a gang. They're just like wannabe punk rockers or some shit. He just kind of hangs out with them because I don't really know why, just to kind of be somebody, I guess, or be part of something. But he doesn't really want to go along with this, raping this woman and everything. He's kind of forced to, and there's some other stuff that goes on there that's just like, what the fuck? So he's kind of forced into that, Heather Linnea Quigley's, I know I keep probably fucking up her name, character is sent to the hospital, everything like that. It's really weird, like the cops are never even like called to question these guys. I mean, Linnea Quigley's character is deaf in this, supposedly, because guy asked her if she's deaf or you can't hear me, can you? And she shakes her head no. So apparently she heard that, or she's reading his lips. I don't know, but it's just really weird that she knows who did this. So why the police aren't called? She can write or do something. I don't know. And there's other scenes where it's like, where the fuck are the cops? But anyway, moving on from that, and I'm not going to give anything away that's not already known because I feel like I know this is a cult classic film, but I feel like it's one that's not talked about as much as other movies and everything. So I don't want to give every single detail away. I feel like a lot of people have seen this movie, but yet not as popular as some of your others. So it becomes like I said, a revenge thing. Not up to the point until where one of Linda Blair's, or the character's friends, who's about to get married and is pregnant and all this. I'm not going to say how it happens, but she is killed by this gang, mainly by Jake, who most of them are like, yeah, do it, man, and all this. And the other guy's like, I don't want any part of this. And, thinks he's taking it too far. And she's killed in broad daylight, in the middle of the street. And nobody says anything. There's no cops. There's no nothing. I found that really hard to believe. But anyway, that leads us to the best part of the fucking movie. And I really didn't think I was going to like this movie based on, I did watch like a few scenes and stuff, trying to prepare for this, to see what I'd have to work with as far as showing you guys in the background and everything. Kind of watched the trailer and things like that, which I really tried not to, and I really didn't think I was going to like it by the trailer. But as bad as this movie is, and as cheesy as this movie is, as bad as some of the acting is and everything, I really enjoyed this film, especially the end when Linda Blair takes her revenge on this gang, and especially the Jake character, the leader of the gang. Wow, this turned into a really good movie. So the third act, whatever you want to say, the last 15-20 minutes especially, wow. Yeah, I highly recommend checking this movie out, guys. I'll just say she's got a crossbow, She's got bear traps and shit. She's got chains to hang people up by. She's got all kinds of stuff. Of course, you do have the cliche 80s and even like other decades, even now, I guess. Short little montage of her like gearing up for this. Wasn't very long and doesn't really get you feeling, like all right, some shit's about to go down. It was kind of a lame montage, little gear up scene, but it was in there nonetheless. So yeah, what else? You do have your. It's really weird watching movies from the 80s. I mean, I was born in the early 80s, but I grew up in like the 90s, as a teenager and everything. And I'm really glad I missed out on the 80s, like fashion and just the way things were. I don't know. It was just a weird fucking time. And the character of Jake, he definitely looks like he's been out of high school for 20 years. And I don't know what age he was supposed to be. I think the only one still in school was the younger character that didn't want anything to do with it. I can't remember his name. I think it was Vince or Stevie or something. No, Stevie was probably a girl. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, there's a scene in here where the guys go to the school to pick the other guy up and get him to hang out with them, and the things that were said by the principal that kind of breaks things up definitely wouldn't fly nowadays. Making just pure threats to these kids and using words I'm not even going to use on this video because I just don't say those kind of words. But definitely politically incorrect and everything like that. There's like, I don't know. It's a different time, And some things I do miss, with all how easily people are offended and everything. But other things are like, I'm glad that's not still a thing. But yeah, overall, guys, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to try to make this review not too long here. If you guys have seen this movie, definitely let me know. And let me know what the Code Red release of this movie is like. Because if it's like a really good transfer and everything, and the music's real good, and honestly, I don't mind the video quality too much. I mean, there was like cigarette burns in the film, things like that, which I kind of like. It feels like it should feel like you're watching a movie in 1984 that came out, and I don't want my 80s movies to look absolutely pristine, but I at least want the audio sync and everything like that correct and things of that nature. And, just minor nitpicks. Again, it's a free app. I watched it for free on Tubi. Of course, I can't say it enough times how awesome this app is. Yeah, if you like movies even a little bit, just get it. I mean, there's no point not to. There's no reason not to have this. Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on this. Again, I didn't go into a lot of detail. There are some other things that go on along the way, but that's the basic story of, the basic synopsis of this film. And tried to keep it a little more professional this time. I go back and forth on the videos. Sometimes I'm just whatever, and other times like now I try to just be informative and things like that. But yeah, again, if there's any requests you guys have for me here on the Tubi Tuesdays, definitely let me know. And again, I'm trying to only do films that I don't own a physical copy of, just because if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch my physical copy. I'm not going to watch it here on Tubi. So if you guys do have a request, I'll watch that copy. If it's requested, I'll watch my physical copy. And just let you guys know that it is free on Tubi, I guess, or do a random review maybe on it or something of that nature. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Everybody stay safe out there. And I'm just going to leave it at that with all that shit. But you guys all know what's going on in the world. And yeah, peace, love, happiness to everybody. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Well, you didn't see me on this one because I'm doing these different. And yeah, peace, love, happiness to everybody. And